Morning Juice. Sports, insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
And it's time to get juiced. Tito, Bobby Carpenter, Bodie Wells on the other side of the imaginary glass joining us here today. Also, thank you to all the juicers out there for tuning in. We appreciate you. It is a Thursday. Bob, how the hell are you?
Oh, it's going good. Going good. Enjoying it. Yesterday was an eventful and fun day.
It was?
Yeah, I mean, all my days are eventful and fun, Thitoff.
Anything?
I mean, it's my life. So I try to make sure that
it's now or never.
Yeah. You know, thanks, Bon Jovi.
You're not going to live forever.
You think I was going to pick that up, man? Come on now. It's power wash the front porch a little bit.
All right.
Front patio.
Right.
Gonna get my kids to do the rest of it. So I did about a third. They can finish it up. And took my wife to lunch, which we normally do on Tuesdays, but we had to do it on Wednesday this week just due to some scheduling things that I had going on. And then I got to take my son. My oldest son has got his permits, so we worked on some driving for about an hour, which was an eventful experience to say the least. But you know what? We're going to practice and we're going to improve and we're going to develop some more confidence and be good to go.
Did you get the cones out?
No, we didn't do parking. We just did straight up driving.
Okay. All right.
Parking's easy now. All these cars have a million cameras.
It's supposed to be.
You know, this stuff's easy peasy. Like I'm more worried about you getting in a wreck when you're driving around than I am you trying to park. This thing will guide you right where you need to go, shepherd you into your space. It's more the function I'm worried about you hitting a parked car somewhere in parts of Arlington or hitting an oncoming car on Riverside. Those are some of the things that we worry about a little more.
I still can't park, but that's a whole other story.
That sounds like a you problem.
It is absolutely a problem. I struggle with parallel parking, Bob.
You struggle with angles? Is that what it is?
Yeah, even with the camera, no camera, I struggle with it regardless. I'm not a good parallel parker.
It's impossible to not be good now with all of the assets that are available to you.
And I've told you this before. Like, there's times I get out of the car and the wife does it.
I mean, I don't know of anything more emasculating than that.
That or the
fact she mows the yard. Is there anything that you do, like, that you feel good about? You provide to your family.
I move some pavers. I told you that before.
For her.
Use a sledgehammer.
I would have paid to have watched you use a sledgehammer.
Money.
Yeah. What's that?
Money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's the other
Financial.
one. Yes. I'm here. I am here, Bob. That's masculating. How about that?
Okay.
Big show lineup for you today. Albert Breer is going to join us. Bobby, I know this, and I know every time I say this, I can't tell if you roll your eyes or if you're closing your eyes because you're so excited when I say it, but we are 21 days till the Pro Football Hall of Fame game.
That sounds tremendous for those that will be involved.
That'll be celebrating. 44 days.
Starting camp here in 2 weeks. 44
days until the first 4 college football games. 51 till Ohio State, Texas. Oh, my God. 56 until the start of the NFL season, Bob. Reds beat the Marlins 7-2. Finally, Reds get a win. They play the Barnes today at 5:10. Guards over Houston 4-2. Sharks happy. Guards in Chicago taking on the Sox at 7:40 tonight when they'll do that. But right now, this right here is honestly, I get paid to get educated here because every day at this time, we get this.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Take it away, General.
Thursday, July 10th, 191st day of the year, 174 remaining in this 2025. The state's 1778. Louis XVI declares war on Great Britain, helping the United States cause during the American Revolution. 1850, as we discussed yesterday, Zachary Taylor, who was the what number president?
That'd be number 12, Bob.
There you go, Bodie. Good job.
For you, Bodie Shark.
Number 13, Millard Fillmore's VP is sworn in after his untimely passing from eating some bad fruit and frozen milk.
That's amazing. Well, we lost a president over bad fruit and milk.
Well, I mean, it's some stomach issues. This date, 1890, Wyoming becomes the 44th state in the United States, beginning to fill up that flag. 1936, Summertime is recorded by Billie Holiday. 1938, the famed aviator Howard Hughes sets a new record with a 91-hour flight.
No
Quite some
layovers?
time. I'm not sure about that. I didn't get all the details.
I got you.
You can give me the manifest. This date, 1962, Telstar becomes the first communications satellite to be launched into space. What you think about, that's been about 60 years, and where we're at now with the ability to grab your phone and watch television videos on it at 30,000 feet in the air, out in the middle of the ocean.
That amazes me, Bob. The technology behind the fact we got things up there, way up there. It was somehow somebody thought, you know what, let's put this up here. As far as we can put it up there and let people down here. Like, it's just the whole technology behind it amazes me.
Yeah. Ping all the signals off of it.
Yes.
Find things all over the place.
America.
There you go. This date.
I think that's the world.
Whatever.
That's the
We're
world.
going to claim it, though.
I think we're the ones.
Also,
that
it's all great till the aliens show up and start
Well, they
using
look,
it against
they
us.
used it
like
against us in Independence Day. Yeah,
No,
that was the
we-
thing.
we found
Triangulated.
their
We did.
signals
We-
embedded in the satellite.
We
Jeff
Triangulated.
Goldblum found that on the laptop.
Some dude who's working at a TV station
Yeah, the
figured that all out.
the giant countdown
You
clock.
think that battery would have died at some point? Because I know back then the batteries didn't last that long.
Well, he plugged it into the spaceship. They had a
You're right. Thank
USB.
God they had their own alien Edison who set up the same exact plugs with the holes that we have.
Maybe they had an adapter. You have no idea.
I'm sure they have alien adapters up there, Bob.
This date, 1968, the Major League Baseball announces it'll be splitting into two divisions. The East and West back then.
It was a
Yes.
two-division each league. Yeah, it was the American League and NL used to just be one straight league, and the champion went in. But they went to the East and West in the American League, and of course, the Reds were in the West, while Chicago and St. Louis are in the East. That makes perfect sense way back then. Atlanta also in the West. Another smart choice by that one.
Well, 'cause they were Atlanta Falcons in the NFC West at one point.
Chicago White Sox are in the American League West. Chicago Cubs, National League East. Brilliant.
Well,
I
they
mean,
tried to-
California's in the Atlantic Coast Conference today.
That's
so-
we're not going to do that today.
Exactly.
buddy.
So
we
you know-
can't. We can't argue that
It
today.
knows no
Yes.
international bounds. This date, 1985, Tina Turner stars in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
We don't need another hero. We don't need to know the way home. All we want is life beyond.
Good
You
movie?
see- I don't know. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it. Have you
I
seen
don't know.
it?
That's more in your wheelhouse. You knew what one of the songs was right away from it. which
MTV
is
videos.
We Don't Need Another Hero.
It's the video. I remember seeing the video. I mean, it was Mel. They have two of them, right?
One of the Living and We Don't Need Another Hero.
No, they have two of the movies, though, right? Mad Max. Was there two Mad Max movies?
Yeah, and I think Beyond
Was-
Thunderdome was probably the second one, I'm guessing.
Was Mel Gibson in both of them?
I have no idea. I've never seen either of them.
Didn't they recreate them though? Not too long
I
ago.
think they
with,
recreated them also,
Was
but-
it Tom Hardy
Might have been
in
might
one of
have
them?
been
That
Does
is
sound right?
correct, I
I haven't
believe.
seen it, but I'm aware of it.
They're generally have general awareness of it. This date, 1991, the first Russian elected president, Boris Yeltsin, takes office. I mean, he was probably the last elected president, too, because I'm not sure how Putin got in there. And
Wasn't the general public?
it was the general public, maybe with some
Sort of.
coercion as well. And then they had his one buddy who was the prime minister. He took like a term for him after his 2 terms, but then Putin came back and has been reigning since then. So it's been about a 30-year reign for him, old boy, getting that done. Some birthdays today. Jake LaMotta, born in this state in 1922. Middleweight champ in the 50s, had the nickname the Raging Bull. They made a movie about that.
They did, and I've heard
Have you
that.
seen that?
No, but I heard De Niro though, like lost a lot of weight and gained a lot of weight to be in that movie.
Yeah. I mean, anytime those guys do those sport, like any type of sports movie like that, you need to look like the guy.
There was Mad Max in '79, Mad Max 2 in '81, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, which is the one we're talking about, '85. I know there were 3 of them with Mel
There you go.
Gibson. So Beyond Thunderdome in '85 is the one where Tina Turner had that song. Yeah, there were 3 though. 79, 81, 85, all of them starred Mel Gibson.
There you go. And before I get to any more birthdays, I saw this on here and I forgot. I accidentally skipped this because in 1981, 44 years ago today, I'm Rick James, B. Super Freak is released.
She's a super freak, she's super freaky. Everybody say, super freak.
That dude.
You know, he once said 3 is not a crowd, Bodie.
You know what 3 is? 3's a pre-party.
There you
three,
go.
3 right there. Yeah, 3 is nothing more than just like, let's open up the seal.
You know, she's my all-time favorite.
Oh,
Jerry Nelson, born on this date, 1934, the voice of or Jim Henson, rather, the voice of the Muppets.
Okay, everybody. Wait, ho. What's this?
What?
Never noticed this before. It says, for Fozzie, these might inspire some ideas for the tribute number. These are real letters. Oh, from Jim's fans. Oh, boy.
Read some.
Read it? Should I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
Let's see. It says, Dear Kermit, my cousin Diane has a pet frog and she named him Kermit. And he could say hi just like you.
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
That's really
I feel very sorry that your best friend Jim died.
Perhaps the substance of Jim Henson's genius was the ability to see wonder far off in crazy directions and get people to follow him there. Roberta Moran, Dover Plains, New York.
There we go. Good
genius is the right word for Henson. What he did.
Think he ever used Kermit as an oven mitt?
Bob, I'm not going
My
to let
neighbor says that joke all the time. I'm glad you just laughed, Jody.
I am not going to let you soil Jim Henson's legacy that way. By the way, do you know, Bob, when Saturday Night Live started, there was a segment with the Muppets every week.
Saturday Night Live?
Saturday Night Live had a Muppets segment, and it
Sounds kind of scary.
It wasn't like it wasn't like the way you might think it would go on an SNL type of thing. It was still early on, but the first, I don't know if it's the whole first season or just the first half of the first season, but yeah, there would be a 12 to 15 minute thing with Muppets on the show. Henson was genius.
Sounds a little extreme to me.
It's just the guy was amazing. The guy was amazing.
Winner of 4 Grand Slams. Never got the French to be able to get the career. One of the great U.S. tennis players, Arthur Ashe, born on this date in 1943.
Amateur tennis player Arthur Ashe causes an upset. This newcomer wipes through the competition to a final game against Tom Ocker in the U.S. Open. Ocker looks to have control, but Ashe keeps at it. Then, in the 5th and final set, a match-winning shot from Ashe. The crowd erupts. Ashe is the first African-American man to win the U.S. Open, and his tennis career is only just beginning.
There we go. One of the great ones. Had sickle cell and then eventually got HIV from a blood transfusion and ultimately leading to his passing. I hear all these guys complain about sickle cell and how bad it is. And I'm like, listen, I watched Arthur Ashe out there at the U.S. Open just grinding away for 4.5 hours, and he seemed to be okay. So I don't know what to tell you.
Bob, so when you think of the AIDS virus, and there's Lou Gehrig, who's obviously the face of ALS, whatever. But when you think of AIDS, though, it's for me, I always think of Ashe, I think of Freddie Mercury, I think of Magic. Like, those are the ones that jump out to me.
Magic Johnson's it for me because that was the first person I knew of
back
like
in 91,
significant fame within my wheelhouse that contracted it.
Yep.
And the fact that he's still alive and looks,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
I thought he was
guys who I played with who think that he doesn't in fact have HIV or never did.
They think it's like the Stevie Wonder blind thing, where it's a hoax.
No one never said Stevie Wonder was blind. I've never heard of that other
Shaq.
than you.
No, me and Shaq.
Maybe you and the Diesel. Most of it's landing on the moon, all these great conspiracies that I would hear in the locker room.
You had people say they didn't think Magic really had AIDS?
Oh, yeah. It's paid by the U.S. government to be the spokesman of it, all this different stuff.
That blows
How
my
do you
mind.
think he got so rich? I mean, all these different
Oh.
things. Like there's all kinds of stuff. Well, yeah, but dude, he owns part of the Dodgers. Like,
He's a billionaire. He owns all these movie theaters.
He owns a lot and everything outside of that, and that was all
Starbucks.
part of the great conspiracy theory that my teammates were, like 9/11 was not real. I mean, there's all this. Oh, I could have a list of them for you, and we would talk about these all the time.
Did you buy into any of? Do you?
Oh, I would placate to him and entertain it.
That's you got to do that.
But I mean, I did shake Magic Johnson's hand, and he came out to our. We have camp in Oxnard, and I never thought growing up that I would feel comfortable shaking someone's hand that had HIV. But when I met him, I thought it didn't even cross my mind because at that point. It was 2007 or 8. I mean, he had HIV by that point. For
91's when he had. 91's when he came with the announcement.
Saying.
Yeah.
So, it'd been almost 16 years, 15 years by that point. And he looked healthier than some of the guys on our team. So,
right.
I mean, it was so out of mind for that to think of that being the case. Some other birthdays today. Turning 61, former Ohio State football coach, winner of 3 national championships, Mr. Urban Meyer.
Now he goes the other way, tries for the big hop, but Johnny Dixon is there to collect it at the 49-yard line. There were 42 seconds to go. That's going to do it for Ohio State. They will win their 8th Rose Bowl, headset in the air from Urban Meyer, and he will go out a winner and cap a career at Ohio State in which he won more than 90% of his games.
What will be your lasting memory, not only from this game, but from your time at Ohio State?
Well, our mission when we said back in, I believe it was 2011, we want to make the great state of Ohio proud. We want to make this great university proud. I am so proud of our players. We've had a great run, and I appreciate Buckeye Nation for being there the whole time.
There we go. Rose Bowl, getting that done. Urban Meyer also bringing a national championship to Ohio State. Columbus Blue Jacket legend Adam Foote turning 54 today. Did we not get anything from Adam?
Couldn't find anything that was
that was so exciting. Or
I didn't see anything about that on YouTube. Anything I found was just like goal scores and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're not giving him the satisfaction of that.
We don't need to
Hell
do
with
that.
him. Hell with him.
But the new squeeze of Tom Brady, Sofia Vergara, turning 53 today.
Is something wrong? Who's died?
No one, Manny.
Why would you even think that?
In Colombia, Manny went to Pablo Escobar Elementary School. If you were pulled out of class, it was definitely to identify a body.
What's all that about? You mad at me or something?
I don't know. Did you do something to make me mad? Because then I am. But if you didn't, then I am not.
I didn't do anything.
Then I am not mad. I am mad. I am so sick of stubborn men. You act like a little boy that doesn't want to accept that he's wrong. And you like a sad old man that doesn't want to be happy. That's it.
You could have shot me!
Come on, Manny. I could have unbuttoned your shirt if I wanted to. Now come here or sink.
She's actually from Boston.
Is she really?
No, I have no idea.
Oh.
But she's with Brady?
They said that.
Yeah, I was unaware of that.
He requested, I just saw this morning, that he had requested to sit by her at Jeff Bezos' wedding.
Good for you, Tom.
Wait, you found out on social media or Tom texted you?
Tom did not text me that.
I'm just saying, let's
So
go
they
to the
said,
source.
No,
text him on the break.
I am not texting him on the break. That's ridiculous. It's number one, 6:15, 6:20 in the morning.
Oh,
So that's
he's
not
up.
happening. I'm not debating whether he's up.
He's gas
There's
station
only a
ready.
handful of people that I would text this early in the morning for something as minuscule as that.
It would add to the story.
Well, it might, but
Add to the ratings.
that's those things are all possible, but there's also something called couth and respect that I've tried to practice with people that I know.
Give me his number. I'll text him.
Adrian Grenier, better known, what the heck was his name on Entourage now? Brody?
Vincent Chase.
Vincent Chase.
Yeah.
Vincent Chase turning 49 today.
Ciao, Chase residence.
Hey, it's Matt Damon.
Hey, Matt, it's Johnny. What can I do for you?
Well, listen, John, there are millions of helpless children with much, much bigger problems.
Well, yeah, of course.
All right, well, is Vince there? Did he look at the materials yet?
Hang on. It's Damon. He wants to know about that charity thing. Yeah, he must have slipped out, but I can see the brochures opened up here on the table.
Put him on the fucking phone, John.
Okay. Sorry, Jason warned me.
Hey, Matt. Just looking over the stuff. Pretty moving shit, isn't it? Very. Okay, so can I count on you? Yeah, just let me know what I can do. Well, I'll tell you what you can do. We got some trips coming up to Cleveland, Ohio. Feeding America, one of our partners, running a food bank there. I need another celebrity to go with me to draw attention to the fact that 1 out of 6 American children, 1 out of 6 are food insecure. Do you even know what that means, Vince? It means they don't know where their next meal is coming from. 1 out of 6 Americans. It's fucking shameful. Yeah, I'm leaving for Italy tomorrow. You know what? F the American kids. Let them starve. Have a good time on your vacation. No, it's not a vacation. I'm working.
So great. I love they'd pulling all those guys for cameos. Ironically, his dad is from Lancaster, Ohio. He had this whole documentary about finding his dad. He did not know him. And
really?
Yeah, they met in the Lowe's parking lot in Lancaster. It's called Shot in the Dark. There's a dual meaning to that. If you want to dig on in there a little bit.
Oh,
but yes.
too. He was a producer of that. Yeah.
It's interesting. So the fact that he dropped to Cleveland, Ohio in there, quite entertaining. Also quite entertaining, Jessica Simpson turning 45 today.
Your paths crossed?
Who?
You and Jessica Simpson through Romo?
Is that sarcasm?
No, like you. Okay, your paths crossed. What was she like?
I always found her. She was very nice.
Yeah,
very nice girl. I mean, people in Hollywood, the longer you go out there, the weirder you get.
Sure.
I mean, it's just a fact. Like if you don't ever come back to reality and talk to and be around the normal people, not in California,
right?
Even the guys that are play at Ohio State, they don't realize how weird California is until they leave it.
Right.
But she was very nice. I mean, her and Court got along great. She came to our wedding. I could never probably after about a year imagine Tony marrying her just because California was so different, unless she wanted to leave there and not be in that scene. But she was always very kind, very polite, very sweet.
Your Romo Carrie Underwood story, first date, always cracks me up.
Yeah, I mean, I've got more there's a lot of stuff like that with Jess because he only dated Carrie for probably like 6 months, maybe.
But the fact you and Court went out on the first date, right, with them.
And my high school friend and his girlfriend.
That's right. They were with you, right.
Have you ever heard that, Bodie?
I don't think I've heard you tell that
story. Oh, it's a great story, Bodie. We got time.
We do have time.
Let's do it.
So Tony would use my wife as like his.
It was the barometer.
The barometer, essentially, yes, for like girls that he would date, and so he was trying to find somebody to date, and his girlfriend that he had been dating, who was a really attractive girl, they ended up breaking up. Before she ended up breaking up with him.
Oh, that's a mistake.
I had met her twice, and she lived in Jacksonville, and a lot of stuff had gone on, but they end up breaking up like that summer before he then becomes the starter.
Okay, so summer of 06?
Yeah, like right around there.
Oh.
I remember we played in Jacksonville the first time, and she was somewhere in Florida, and she came up and met. I was like, okay, like, seems like a nice girl. And they ended up breaking up at some point during that season. And then he started dating Carrie. I think that was the first girl that he had dated with that. And so one of my buddies came into town. Was Carrie after Jess?
I think so, because wasn't Simpson the whole like Cabo trip?
Yeah, because that would have been
the Giants game.
Jess would have been before that, and then Carrie I think was after. Yeah, Carrie would have been after. And anyway, so Carrie comes into town. He just calls me. I remember I was mowing my grass. I'm outside talking to him about this. I was like, he goes, "Hey, we got to go to dinner tonight." And I'm like, "I'd love to, but," he goes, "I need Court to meet this girl." I'm like, dude, why does it have to be a night? It's like one of my good friends from home is coming in with his girlfriend, who's now his wife. I'm like, we're going to be hanging out. He's like, it's fine, bring him.
It's fine.
I'm like, are you sure? And he's like, well, who are you going to dinner with? He's like, Carrie Underwood. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah. So we're going to dinner with Carrie Underwood. So it's like, okay. So he turns a reservation, which she probably thinks is for 2 into 4 or 6. 4 other people that she knows no one of on their first date. Mm-hmm. I can only imagine how weird that was for her. And we go to, oh gosh, what was the place called?
It was a steakhouse, something.
It was a steakhouse in Dallas. I'll have to go look through a list of them, and I'll be able to find it.
Call Tony Romo.
But it's an hour back there,
That's
so I'm
fine.
definitely not doing that. But he, by the way, Kerry's a vegetarian.
Okay.
Which
So
is
that
the
covers
ultimate
things
irony.
off a little bit.
Which Courtney knew that as we were driving there. I didn't know. And maybe I did from American Idol, because this was shortly after that, because he's from Oklahoma, grew up on a cattle farm, and was a vegetarian. So it's kind of a unique storyline.
Yeah.
But so they go there, and my buddy, I'm driving there. We're going to meet him. Or I think he picks us up. And I'm like, hey, dude, we're going to dinner with Tony. And he's like, that's awesome, man. I'm like, he's bringing his new, girl he's dating. It's like, it's Carrie Underwood. And I didn't realize this. And my buddy's girlfriend at the time, now his wife, from Lancaster as well. Huge Carrie Underwood fan.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that
She
part.
didn't tell us that till afterwards. She kept it together very well. Tony, we go to the steakhouse, and I'm like, Three Forks, maybe? I'm not sure. But it's a nice time. We enjoy it. But I can only imagine, Tony's like, oh, I didn't know you were a vegetarian. She's like, can I just get a salad or something? Do you have any vegetarian options? And this is 2008 or something, 9. So they didn't have any. It was just a mess. But it was a fun time. And, she enjoyed it. But it was just very awkward.
Yeah.
Who brings a friend on their first date and then brings a friend's friend? So it's an opening date. I understand maybe 4 people, like him and his, someone and their wife or girlfriend, but another party involved. It was.
And her
crazy.
fame over the last 15 plus years obviously has only gotten bigger.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like she won American Idol and she kind of took off ever since. She wasn't really somebody who.
She's the biggest person off American Idol by far.
Her and Kelly Clarkson. Yeah.
Oh, come on,
But
dude.
no,
Kelly
I know.
Clarkson's hosting a TV show now, midday TV.
She was on The Voice.
Carrie
right?
still, I don't care about that. That's for nonsense.
But I'm saying, she won American Idol, and it wasn't 3 years later then her music career took off. I feel like she won it, and it was pretty instant.
She was on a rocket ship.
Did Court give her a thumbs up?
I think so. Personality-wise, Jess was a lot more engaging.
Okay.
Than Carrie was. But Carrie was new to probably a lot of it at that point, and I don't think it would. Their personalities probably never really matched.
I got you.
A lot. There were some other things too that aren't for public consumption, but I had to listen to my brother's girlfriend at the time try to tell me the reason they broke up is she wrote Before He Cheats about Tony. I'm like, number one, I don't think she writes her own music. Number two, that's not true. And I had to listen to her argue with me about that, and I'm like, whatever. That she had written that, that is, the timeline didn't even line up.
Yeah.
But whatever. Also, birthdays today. One of the best wide receivers of all time. Future Hall of Famer.
Yes!
4-time first-team All-Pro, 1-time second-team All-Pro. You look at his numbers, led the league in receiving a couple years, was top 5 a bunch of other times. Incredible player, and even a more incredible entertainer. Antonio Brown turning 37.
Antonio Brown, that's Antonio Brown without his uniform, we are told, without his jersey, and running onto the field. I don't know if that could have been a penalty.
All right, Jen Hill, get after that. We got to find out what's going on there.
She's got to catch him first. Watching the behavior, unusual behavior, in-game behavior of the shirtless Antonio Brown. Mike, not necessarily a penalty because he didn't interfere with the on-play activity.
Yeah, if he doesn't interfere with play and he's just headed to the locker room, you're not going to call anything there. He can throw things into the stands. It's a fine if he throws a football into the stands. But, in this situation, let him get out of there and don't bring any more attention on him than you have to.
All right, thanks. That's the official ruling. Now, whether there'll be some kind of fine. And there's his.
I've never seen anything like that. I've been affiliated with the NFL for over 30 years, and I have never seen anything like that in those 30 years. It's just baffling to me.
Yeah, I thought it was like some crazy fan that ran out there at first. And there's a sack, the first sack of the game.
That's outstanding.
They brought in Pereira. Hey, Mike, what's the
ruling on
Do you
this?
have any of the subsequent Instagram or X Live when he was driving around in the Uber filming New York?
I don't think so. I guess I should have grabbed that.
I mean, that would have been that's the
I looked for some
follow.
of his stuff on his Twitter account.
His cracker of the day, cracker of the week.
It was
cracker ass cracker.
Couldn't find any video that was maybe appropriate, and nor just any video that didn't say some words that maybe we couldn't include on the show.
Listen. When his cracker of the week included, oh my gosh, Kamala Harris, that's when I knew that it was going to be a great segment. I knew that he was really locked in for greatness. It was highly entertaining. And then also, Browns legend Trent Richardson turning 35 today. Got a lot of guys who impacted Ohio squads. Trent, Adam Foote, just guys doing some great things. Some holidays, observances. It's Global Energy and Independence Day, International Nikola Tesla Day, National Kitten Day, National Pina Colada Day. Bodie, someone once said I need one for each hand. Pick Blueberries Day,
Jimmy.
Wyoming State Home Day, Statehood Day as well. And those are your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date, Thursday, July 10th, 191st day of the year, and 174 days remaining in this 2025.
Well done as always, Bob. Have you heard Escape, the Pina Colada song?
I need one for each hand?
No, there's a song called...
Give me two Pina Coladas.
It's called the Pina Colada Song.
I don't know
It's called
about that.
Escape from 1980, I think. Anyway, check that out, Bob, on the break. Well done as always, General. Coming up next, let's build a rivalry. Morning Juice.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I know what it's like to be stuck in that cycle of pain where you're trying to get better. You keep going to the doctor, steroid shots, surgeries. Do not go down that road anymore. Go see my friends at QC Kinetics. They will help treat you without going under the knife and without the meds. QC Kinetics are the leaders in regenerative medicine to help your body heal itself. And I should know, I've been a client there, and they helped me with my knee get back to the running in the summer and going whitewater rafting and all of the things that you enjoy. And this is the critical part about my friends with QC. 92% of patients report satisfaction with their results. That's peace of mind. It's not just a number. They're trying to help you. They're the second opinion that you're looking for to keep you from getting under the knife. To find out if you're a good candidate, go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. The consultation is free, or call 380-2845-44. That's 380-2845-44. They have offices all over Central Ohio. So go check them out. When it comes to protecting your assets, you need a security partner. Event Risk Security Services is a U.S.-based veteran-owned company providing protection services, consulting to Fortune 500 companies, movie studios, celebrities, and high net worth individuals. If you're tired of fluff margins with low compensation for poor quality services and an endless revolving door of vendor staffing, then give them a try. They're virtually the same cost, and they can address what keeps you up at night. Event Risk. Check them out at eventriskinc.com to learn more.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Yo, I'm your old basketball. Haven't seen you out on the courts in a while. Why not pass me over to Goodwill? Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. And that's a slam dunk. Donate today. Hey, I got next.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, please visit goodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
Bobby Carpenter, husband, father, Buckeye. Jeff Thitoff, husband, father, idiot. This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. I lied, Bob. We're not talking about building a rival. We'll do that later on in the show. We got a short break here for our beer
Building a
on.
mystery, Sarah McLachlan.
I want to bring something up. Two things. First of all, before when I mentioned about calling Tom Brady, you said I'm not going to do that. It's too early in the morning. when I mentioned us calling Tony Romo, you said he's an hour behind us. Does that mean?
Listen.
No. Here's my question though.
There's
Bob.
a select group of people I would text. Before 7 o'clock.
I get it.
Actually, before 8.
Sure.
Number one, most of those people need to reside in the Eastern time zone.
Okay.
I'm not going to sit there unless they're a very close friend and I know their lifestyle habits. To the point where I know that they're generally awake at this point.
Okay.
AJ's in Tahoe now.
Well, so's Romo right now.
And that's true.
Okay.
AJ, more of an early riser than Tony.
Okay. Here's my thing, though, Bob. When I mentioned calling Romo, and this is all hypothetical, I get it. And you said he's an hour behind us, I'm not going to do that. Does that mean if it were an hour later, you would have entertained the idea? I don't think you would have. I think it was just like you put me off.
No, I wouldn't text him.
You still wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't text him at 7:30.
All right, here's my next question.
AJ, I would.
And we're in the trust tree right now. No one's judging anybody. Okay? Bobby, have you ever had vanity plates?
No.
Okay. Bodie, have you?
I have not.
Okay. Would either of you ever entertain the idea of vanity plates?
I used to really want to get them when I was in college, but
Okay.
that was kind of when I was more concerned with what people thought and different things. I thought it'd be really sweet to get some different vanity plates.
What would you have gone with?
I'm not even going to.
No, come on, Bob. No, we're the trust tree, Bob. No one's judging. It's a 6 o'clock hour. No one's listening.
I saw this.
Okay.
The internet really wasn't a thing, so it was probably on MTV Cribs.
Okay.
I don't know where I would have seen it, but I was. I'm not even going to.
Come on, Bob. You got to tell us.
It is embarrassing.
It's
beyond
okay.
belief.
It's
My wife
trust
already
tree.
says I'm an unrelenting narcissist.
Let's hear it.
So I didn't get it because after thinking about it, which is why I never got really any tattoos either, because it's how permanent they are and just what are you going to get that would be identified to you for the rest of your life. I thought about when I got here and got my number, getting bucks 42 or something.
Reasonable?
But in high school, I always thought it'd be cool to get the license. One of my friends may have talked me into it. And I remember looking at it, and how many you work with the BMV?
Yes.
How many? What's the character?
7.
7. Yeah, and so I'd worked this out where I was like, that'd be sweet. What would be something that'd be I mean, when you're in high school, this seems cool. Just like I thought, getting all these, getting a barbed wire tat like Katzenmoyer would be awesome as well.
Sure.
Schleg's actually followed through on that. AJ and I did not, which is what's amazing. But I think I tell people all the time, Katzenmoyer changed the tattoo game for Ohio State players.
Right.
Or no,
Ohio players.
Ohio high
Yes,
school players
yes.
looking like this is the dude. Look at that sweet barbed wire tat. And I was going to it would have been CHOSEN 1.
Okay, there you go. Chosen one.
I can't even say that.
I'm telling you, dude.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, that sounds like the most ridiculous thing. And looking back on that, knowing that was in the calculus of my mind and thinking that would be something that'd be awesome. But the problem was, 2 problems. Number one, I would have been in the D-Bag Hall of Fame if I got that. Number 2, my car was titled and registered to my parents.
Right.
I don't know, until I was probably 21 or 22 years
Sure.
old. So they would have never allowed that to
Chosen
happen.
one.
I would have had them fill that out. And it was just, it's.
That's outstanding.
Oh, it's something. I mean, it's ridiculous. Of all the things I've done in my life, that's probably one of or considered in my life.
Let's tap the brakes. Yes.
Well, done / considered. And there's a couple things that are significantly worse than that on a personal level. But that is the top 5 for me. The fact that even entered my brain.
That's fantastic.
And I thought that was a good idea.
Chosen one would have been great. Bodie, would you?
That's a sober idea that I thought was
good. Bodie, what would you have if you could choose a vanity plate?
I don't even know because I've never
It'd be
thought
Notre
about
Dame
it.
thing. It'd be like an
Probably,
Irish,
yeah. I mean, I almost, if we had won that last game, I probably would have gotten the score tattooed right across my forehead.
Right.
Perfect.
But, yeah, I never really...
Get Freeman follower on your arm.
Yeah, it'd be that one too. That's true, yeah.
There's a pretty good portrait, or maybe I should say picture. After Leonard picked up a first down to kind of clinch the Georgia win, he's hand signaling first down, and right over his shoulder on the sideline behind him, Freeman's kind of doing the same thing.
Oh,
I mean, it's, maybe I could get just the entire thing tattooed right across my back. But I never really, I never once have thought, honestly, about getting vanity plates. Never really was something that was on the mind, so I haven't put a lot of thought into what it would be if I did
look, I know I'm the youngest one of the bunch here.
I want like Irish one, maybe there you go.
Without sounding too young, I want you guys to know that my whip doesn't drip Riz, and so it would be hard for me to get one now.
What is wrong with you?
But Tito is already gone. You can go look on the website. You can go and take a look and see what's out there. Tito has been taken. Now, how about this one? Because this one's available. It's
Fitbit.
It's Tito. ITSTITO. Should I get that?
I think Heather would leave you.
She wouldn't leave me.
I don't hate it. I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm just telling you,
it's Tito.
It's Tito. Do you think I should go through with that?
What about, is MJ Tito available?
It's a good one.
Morning juice.
Look, if I got a Bronco, or a white SUV, I'd get juice. I would get that.
Fitbit.
But it's Fitbit could work. You're right. Could do Fitbit or it's Tito. Which one should I go with, Bob? Maybe I'll do it.
It's Tito would be amazing.
What kind of car did you drive?
It's a 2010 Camry.
That's pretty sick.
One of my friends in college.
Is it paid off?
His girlfriend, who he dated from high school, and then through like half of college, 2/3 of college, had the Buckeye. Like you could get the Ohio State, Buckeye Blocko on there, and so she had the block, and she didn't go to school here, by the way, which was even more entertaining. But she had the Blocko, and then the number, and then his number, and then go afterwards, which I was like. That's amazing. So you'd always know, like you knew her car when she was in town, but in case there was any wonder that in a city of, at that point, 1 million people, someone else may have parked a similar car there, similar make and model, same color. Nope, there it is. There's the vanity plate.
Let's ask this guy next who's got a vanity plate. Albert Breer joins us. This is Morning Juice.
Bobby Carpenter here with Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Every successful franchise in sports has a long-term vision, and behind that long-term vision are the people executing the plan. In the words of the great Woody Hayes, you win with people. It's the same in business and in life. Surround yourself with good people and build strong relationships with those people, and the path to success becomes very clear. Here's Chuck Moore, CEO, and Travis Sanders, president of Riverside Bank of Dublin, on how they win with people.
A team's success can be directly tied to the quality of its players, coaches, and leadership. In sports and in business, talent alone doesn't win. It's why we focus on building strong relationships with our clients and why we strive to always offer the best advice, the best products, and the best customer service for our clients.
Thanks, Travis. We want them to focus on their business and their people and let us handle their banking needs.
Tune in every day for the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Visit their office at 6300 France Road in Dublin or online at riverside.bank.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Around the world, Children International and friends like you are giving children in poverty a chance to grow and thrive, to be healthy, to succeed in school, and achieve great things. How do we do it? In the best way possible, by helping ensure access to healthcare, nutrition, and educational opportunities. And most importantly, by empowering youths and their families to get out of poverty and into employment through life skills, computer, and job training. The very tools they need to break the cycle of poverty and build futures full of promise. Because every child deserves a chance to realize their full and best potential. Learn more about how Children International is empowering children and families by going to children.org today. That's children.org.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I know what it's like to be stuck in that cycle of pain where you're trying to get better. You keep going to the doctor, steroid shots, surgeries. Do not go down that road anymore. Go see my friends at QC Kinetics. They will help treat you without going under the knife and without the meds. QC Kinetics are the leaders in regenerative medicine to help your body heal itself. And I should know, I've been a client there and they helped me with my knee get back to the running in the summer and go on whitewater rafting and all of the things that you enjoy. And this is the critical part about my friends with QC. 92% of patients report satisfaction with their results. That's peace of mind. It's not just a number. They're trying to help you. They're the second opinion that you're looking for to keep you from getting under the knife. To find out if you're a good candidate, go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. The consultation is free or call 380-2840 228-4544. That's 380-228-4544. They have offices all over Central Ohio, so go check them out.
We built a brand new studio just for Bobby, and Tito has already ruined it just by being here. I'm pregnant. This is Morning Juice.
Oh, morning juice. Juice. Orange juice, Bob. Juice.
Yeah, we were running a little behind today for Albert, talking about some great stuff. I'm sure he popped on, and he's like, hey, give me a second.
Yeah.
Bodie said it looked like he was still on vacation, so that's unfortunate. I feel bad if he's doing that again.
Are we, it's Tito or Fitbit? Which should we go with?
Oh, it's Tito. It's got to be it, because that's much more ridiculous.
It's available. I don't know what the cost is. I've got to look that up.
What is the cost of vanity plate? You don't know?
I don't know off the top of my head. I want to say it's like $100 extra.
Really?
If it's $100 extra, I think it's worth it.
Okay.
I just wish, like I said before, I wish my whip had more Riz. Like if I had a different kind of ride, Bob.
Okay.
Now, this is also a call out to Reichert and those guys. If they would hook me up with some kind of whip with more Riz, I would do it. He is Albert Breer. Albert joins us now from MMQB.
Hold on, Albert, sorry, we were a little late getting to you because we had this big debate over vanity plates. Are you an owner of vanity plates, or have you ever considered getting one?
No. I mean, maybe when I was younger, I don't know. I mean, I think we all are children at some point. But
wait,
I think you got to draw the line somewhere. I actually said this on one of my text groups, I think last week. I'm on Nantucket right now, and you see just about the douchiest vanity place you could possibly imagine here. And, I don't need to let people know where I vacation or whatever through my license plate. So, I just can't imagine the act of going to the DMV and filling out a form that says what some of these vanity plates say on them. So I'm anti-vanity plate. Where are you guys at on it?
I agree with you with that, and I had to admit to Tito, Albert, that in high school, if my parents would have let me, I would have gotten the license plate chosen one, and that would have been probably one of the biggest mistakes of my life.
You would have gotten chosen one?
Exactly. It was terrible to admit that publicly. And I was probably that was mortifying to actually say out loud.
Yeah, I mean, but you think about some of those things, it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's like letting someone get it. It's like the tattoo you would get when you were 18.
Yes.
I think most people, there's a reason why your parents don't want you to make those sorts of decisions when you're a kid, there's a reason for it, because they have better perspective than you do on it. And I would venture to say, based on the era that we grew up on, there are going to be a lot of dumb-looking 60 and 70-year-olds, in about 20 years because of tattoos they were allowed to get when they were 18, 19 years old. And I think making those decisions with vanity plates, same sort of thing.
Coach, I mean, every high school player my age wanted to get the Andy Katzenmoyer barbed wire tattoo. That would have been on every boy. That was around probably every man from 38 to 45, I think, if their parents would have signed off on
it. Was Pamela Anderson's, hers was before Cat, though, right? Before the big Cat,
I think. You're right.
I think you're correct in saying that.
It's the Pamela Anderson tattoo.
I think Pamela Anderson might have been, which is crazy to think, because it was I don't know. It was the barbed wire on the bicep was oh yeah, look how intimidating I am. But I think Pamela Anderson might have actually started that trend.
So, Albert, you said something to the effect of, you would do it when you were a young kid, but now it would be crazy to think about vanity plates going into the DMV and having to fill out the form. Couple things. I'm 54 and thinking about it, and also you can do it online. Does that change your opinion at all? If I go online and not have to go live into a place and fill out the form, does that make it more palpable?
I mean, I guess you'd feel slightly less stupid, but I still think I'd feel dumb doing it. At least I'm not doing it in front of anybody, I guess. Right?
So speaking of things that you do that may or may not have been dumb, I'm seeing some movement, and this has been discussed for about a year and a half now, that the Washington Commanders may be returning to the Redskin name or maybe bringing the logo back. What have you heard about that?
Yeah, I don't think the name's ever coming back, but you can see what they're doing now as far as the branding goes. And, I think like it was – I think what happened 5 years ago, with changing the name, which, you can have that debate. They changed the name, and obviously I think I like regardless of where anybody comes down on that, I think one of the things that they felt like they made a mistake on was throwing away all of the history, right? Like and I remember talking to the guys there about it at the time, and Ron Rivera was there, and Jason Wright was the team president, and Snyder was still there, and I remember like talking to them about like, well, don't you want to keep some of it? Like, don't you want? That's such a proud franchise, and there's such great history and heritage there in DC with everything that the Joe Gibbs teams accomplished in the '80s and all the great players that have been through there. And, I think for them, it was like kind of, no, we're going through, we want to make it different enough. So this is something new. And I think a lot of people who were there then would tell you now that was a mistake. And I mean, let's call it what it was too. I mean, I think some of it was like taking people's eye off the ball of what was going on with Snyder at the time, because there was all of that was happening as well. And so, I think the fans have spoken loudly there that that history that the franchise has is important to them. You hear people talking about it when they talk about moving back into DC with the new stadium potentially, and I think with new ownership coming in with Dan Quinn sort of changing things there, they have Jaden Daniels, they win 12 games. It stirs a lot of those memories back. So, I don't think the name's ever coming back, but I do think like some of the marks and some of the history of the franchise is going to come back and be reemphasized. And part of that is, again, like having some new people in there and the performance of the team in the field kind of, I think, recalling some of the old great memories. And then the new owner also, as part of that, being an area native. Like, I don't think that hurts either. The fact that the guy is from the suburbs of DC, so he grew up with it. So naturally, he would want that to be a part of his franchise as well.
Albert Breer from MMQB joins us here on Morning Juice. Do you believe Kirk Cousins will spend the entire season on the Falcons roster?
That's a really hard question to answer, Tito, because I think like what's tough about it for me at least is like you're like predicting injuries. You know what I mean? Like, and I know everybody looks back to the example of Sam Bradford in 2016 and how the Eagles brought back Sam Bradford and and then they draft Carson Wentz, and it's like, okay, like they're loaded up at the position now, and have they done too much? And then the opportunity comes along, of course, with the injury to Teddy Bridgewater, for them to flip Bradford for a first-round pick, and they look like geniuses. That's really rare. Like, and it's really tough to count on something like that. So, do I think the right opportunity could come along? Yes, but I think they're past the point of being able to expect anything of that like that. Like either somebody's quarterback situation has to devolve into disaster, and there has to be the sort of catastrophic injury that the Vikings had that summer, and so it's tough for me to predict that an injury is going to happen somewhere, and I don't think anybody's quarterback situation is dire enough that they're going to panic and take on all the money that Kirk is owed. It could happen. I think it's tough to count on something like that.
Any update in the Trey Hendrickson situation down in Cincinnati?
Yeah, well, you hope like Bobby, like that, next week when we get closer to camp, when people return to the office and everything else, that this becomes a front burner thing. Now, they had communications before the break, which even if they didn't get very far, it's good that they at least, kind of lifted the lid on talking again. And this is a difficult one. I always look at these and it's like, the benefit to doing a deal early, to getting these things taken care of early, can really be enormous for teams. And, to me, this is one of those situations. If you go to Trey Hendrickson at the very end of the season and said, we want to make it right, we'll give you 30 over 3 and we'll guarantee 2 years of it, he might take it. I mean, now, Max Crosby's in the mid-30s. Danielle Hunter's in the mid-30s. Myles Garrett's at 40. So, of course he's going to want more. And, then you've got the complication of having done the 2 deals for the receivers where, Jamar Chase's deal is materially different than what the Bengals have normally done. It's closer to the deal Burrow did, where T. Higgins' deal is more along the Bengals' rules. So they got to sort all of that out. I would expect them to talk before the team gets back on the practice field, here in a couple weeks. But, it remains, I think, the most unpredictable of all these contract situations across the league, not just within the Bengals, but across the league.
Albert Breer joins us here, MMQB. And Albert, I've always wanted to ask you this, and now with no camps going on, it's the best time to ask you. MMQB means a lot to a lot of people of my age, of my era, as far as, Peter King and all of that's where we think of first when it, like our first exposure, MMQB. And now you've taken that mantle, and I'm curious for you what it means for you to be associated with MMQB and how significant that was for you as somebody who I'm sure grew up reading MMQB and following that with Peter King.
Yeah, thanks for asking about that. Peter's been so significant to my career. I like when I left NFL Network in 2016, it was a little bit of a leap, but it was something where, I'd get the chance to work with Peter for a couple years. And back then, I can say it now, like, we didn't make it public then, but the idea was that he would pass the baton to me. And media has changed a lot over the years. But one thing I know about Peter is, like, he really, and look, like, I think he did a lot of things we all want to do, right? Like, he wanted to be at the top of the profession. He wanted to be a must read. He wanted to be a guy that coaches and players wanted to talk to, right? Like, that, not just like, hey, I want to get an interview with this guy or this guy. Like, those guys, like, wanted to have relationships with him. Those guys wanted to have, those guys wanted to have their voice in his column or in his work. And obviously, I think any of us want that. But what I really love about Peter is how much of a passion he had for the work. Like, I still talk to him after I do this story or that story, and he'll be interested in how the whole thing came together. And, so for me, where this all started was just loving football. And football is the only sport I ever wanted to cover. And I don't think there are a lot of people that cover the NFL that are like that. I think a lot of other people gravitated towards pro football because it's the most popular sport, and that's where the money is in our business. But, I always just wanted to cover football. So add that to, like, the passion I saw Peter have for the actual profession and finding out stuff that no one else knows and being able to storytell. And, that's what makes it so significant for me is, like, no matter how this looks, whatever medium we're doing to deliver it, whether it's video or podcasting or print or whatever else, you hope that, like, your passion for the job comes through. And every phone conversation I have with Peter, even now, it comes through, like how much the job meant, how much he enjoyed the job and how it didn't feel like a job for him and how lucky he felt to do it. Like, that comes through even in his retirement now when I talk to him just on something I might have done last week or the week before. And, hopefully I have that, and hopefully that's reflected in my work, because it certainly was with Peter, and that was something that attracted me to the place in the first place.
I would want to know why Albert Breer is such a pro, because he did hire birds to make those noises in the background so we have a better understanding of what's going on, where he's at. That was wonderful, Albert. We appreciate that. And also, is it true that your plates say MMQB?
They do not. No,
Okay.
no. My plates have a bunch of random numbers and letters, and that's the way it'll always be.
All right. Thank you, Albert. Appreciate the time, bud. Enjoy the rest of your vacation. We'll talk again next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Of course. That's why we have Albert Breer on every week, Bobby, to talk vanity plates and birds.
Oh, he's the best.
He really is.
I can't believe he was in Nantucket again this week, doing this from on vacation. But he is he's a Buckeye. He loves it. Loves being a part of the Columbus fabric here.
Yes.
And got some nice little details and info. That was a nice question you had to him there. That I've never asked him that. And we've talked about his career path, and we've doing different things together and how stuff looks. But it was how he originally got into it, and him saying that he got into it with the coach in waiting tag in mind. That
I always wondered about that. But Bobby, look, I've wanted to ask him that for like months now, but I wanted to make sure there wasn't any kind of I did research to make sure there was no it was like a coup d'etat. There was no bad blood. It looked like everything was good. That's why
I knew that him and Peter were still close.
Right.
Which that would lead me to believe that it was there was a plan for how that transition was going to work.
Do you know who Peter King is, Bodie? Do you?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm well aware of Peter King.
I mean, you're young.
Just covering the NFL. I couldn't tell you everything about him. But
him and I don't know, Bobby. Does Dr. Z? If I say that, does that mean anything to you or not?
Dr. Love?
No, not Dr. Love. Paul Zimmerman.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Z from Sports Illustrated. Also, he and Peter King
used
was
to
great.
wite.
He'd write. He'd do the draft preview stuff. Yes.
Like Rick Riley, I always used to read his stuff, The Life of Riley in the back, which those were amazing. Always great.
Let's get Rick
stories.
Riley on. I've had him on Fan Sports Sunday before.
It's an early sell. I'm not sure where he lives.
It doesn't matter, Bob. This is what I'm telling you. Bob, I don't care about Romo and Brady's sleep schedule. We need to get people on. We got to do this. Clock be damned.
Is this for you, or you think it would actually be
Yes,
good
it's
content?
for me. No, it's always for me. WIIFM, Bob. You know what that stands for?
What?
What's in it for me?
Okay.
That's what all this.
That's good.
Coming up next. Quick hitters, Morning Juice.
When it comes to protecting your business, whether it's your staff, property, or assets, don't make a crucial mistake by contracting companies that provide subpar and unprofessional service. What you need is a security partner known for their unwavering professionalism and unmatched reliability. You need Event Risk. Event Risk is a U.S.-based, veteran-owned company that not only specializes in on-site guarding, but also offers armed security associates and executive protection agents. Event Risk, elite protection for your peace of mind.
Hello, my name is Eric Rose, CEO and founder of Event Risk Security Services. We are a U.S.-based, veteran-owned company providing protection services and consulting to Fortune 500 corporations, movie studios, celebrities, and high-net-worth individuals. If you're tired of fluff margins with low compensation for poor quality security officers and an endless revolving door of vendor staffing, then give us a try. For virtually the same cost, we can then address what keeps you up at night.
Visit eventriskinc.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I know what it's like to be stuck in that cycle of pain where you're trying to get better. You keep going to the doctor, steroid shots, surgeries. Do not go down that road anymore. Go see my friends at QC Kinetics. They will help treat you without going under the knife and without the meds. QC Kinetics are the leaders in regenerative medicine to help your body heal itself. And I should know, I've been a client there, and they helped me with my knee get back to the running in the summer and go on whitewater rafting and all of the things that you enjoy. And this is the critical part about my friends with QC. 92% of patients report satisfaction with their results. That's peace of mind. It's not just a number. They're trying to help you. They're the second opinion that you're looking for to keep you from getting under the knife. To find out if you're a good candidate, go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. The consultation is free, or call 380-284544. That's 380-284544. They have offices all over Central Ohio. So go check them out.
I thought mixing bleach with my floor cleaner would take the stain out.
When my youngest ate the dog's medicine, that was a new one.
I was trying to protect my garden, but I accidentally sprayed myself with pesticide.
So I called 1-800-222-1222, the poison helpline.
A poison expert helped me figure out what to do next.
I was connected to someone who spoke Spanish.
They answered my questions.
It was free.
It was confidential.
It was real help in real time.
Keep the poison experts in your pocket. 1-800-222-1222.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
We got a higher home appraisal after we put away our African art and family photos.
Has this happened to you because of race or national origin? Contact HUD at hud.gov/fair housing. A message from HUD and the National Fair Housing Alliance.
Proud to be your go-to sports edition.
WBNS, WBNS FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination. One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
We are Morning Juice. We are sponsored gladly, proudly by Riverside Bank in Dublin and Event Risk Elite Protection. Albert Breer joined us last segment from Nantucket. All I know about Nantucket is wings. That's all I know, Bob.
Is that where that was based out of?
Yes, it was Nantucket. It was
you go.
Sandpiper Air with Joe and Brian were the brothers.
Oh, yeah. I remember I watched
It's a great
Wings.
show.
How many years do you think that was on for? One of my
7.
One of my favorite games is to go back and check out sitcoms or TV shows to think, like, how long do you think Gilligan's Island was on for?
I think Gilligan's Island made him off like 4?
3.
3, okay. I think Wings was 7.
They made 3 subsequent movies after it.
Oh, and they also had the cartoon series, too. Like, sometimes I do see Scooby-Doo on Gilligan's Island.
So, and then I also, like, one of the shows that I grew up watching was Saved by the Bell, and I always remember, like, how many seasons was that on? I was like, I don't know, like 6 or 7. It was on 3. Good Morning, Miss Tidd, which was the precursor to
Miss
it.
Bliss.
Or Miss Bliss. Not
Yes.
Miss Tidd. Good Morning, Miss Bliss was only on for 1 year.
Right.
And then the Saved by the Bell college years, which seemed like it was on for like another 2 or 3, was only on for 1 season.
There was Saved by the Bell, a new class.
I
know. I'm with you on that.
Listen, Tiffany Amber Thiessen needed to be in it for me to watch it.
Oh, dude, yes.
And
Elizabeth Berkley was in it, and Lark Voorhees.
Wait, in the
Mark
new
Paul Gosselaar? No, I'm saying the old one. Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Oh, yeah, Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Yes.
Mario Lopez.
Screech was.
He's R.I.P.
Dustin Diamond.
Dustin Diamond.
Well,
He's been
R.I.P.
dead for
He's
10
R.I.
years.
I don't know if he's R.I.P., but he's whatever. He's rested wherever. Yeah. Dustin Diamond.
Died in 2021.
That's when Dustin died?
Yep.
I remember seeing him on
It's been a minute.
Celebrity Fit Club. Did you ever watch that show, Bob?
No.
That was a good Celebrity Fit Club. Was on VH1, and it was
I know. I know the premise of it.
It was a banger. But yes, Good Morning, Miss Bliss was the original one, and then it turned into Saved by the Bell. I'm not sure where we're going with that.
The amazing thing is that Mr. Belding.
Yes.
Is what's his name? He's been on our
Dennis.
Yes.
Dennis Haskins.
Haskins. Good job.
Because he came out to the Clippers games.
Related to Dwayne?
Maybe it's
I just had to look up whether or not Dustin Diamond was related to Neil Diamond because his middle name is Neil.
Is he related?
No relation.
Maybe his parents were big fans.
Must have been huge fans, yes.
Dennis Haskins.
Yeah. He would come here to Cooper Stadium.
Was my age during Saved by the Bell.
Was he really?
Yes.
That's amazing.
I saw that meme. He was like 43, 42. It was like something where I looked at that and the day you wake up and realize that you're closer, that you're Dennis Haskins' age from Saved by the Bell and no longer the age of the cast. Because I grew up watching that when they were all like 8 to 9 years older than me, or perceived as that.
One of the greatest lines, and this is not hyperbole in television history, was when there was a rumor that Screech and Kelly Kapowski were going to run away to get married. Mr. Belding wanted to put a stop to it. He says to Screech, you can't elope. Screech's response was, who you talking to, you melonhead? You can't elope. That was pretty good. That's
terrible.
That's fantastic
we got
writing.
Some quick hitters. Let's go.
All right, let's do that.
That's all.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
You can't elope. Who you talking to, you melonhead? Good morning, Bodie.
Good morning, guys. Things have been going pretty well for members of the 2024-25 NBA champion Oklahoma City Thunder. Shortly after their run to the franchise's first title last month, SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and the team agreed to a 4-year, $285 million contract extension. And then yesterday it was Chet Holmgren's turn as he signed a 5-year rookie max extension that'll pay him $250 million over the course of the deal. Since he was selected at number 2 overall in the 2022 NBA draft, Holmgren, he's had a couple of major injuries, but he's been a pretty big difference maker for the team when he's actually on the court, averaging 16 points and 7 rebounds, plus more than 2 blocks per game, and he was a major factor, one of their best players in the franchise's run to the title over the last few months. Tito, with this new CBA, I have doubts whether or not they can keep this team together for the long haul, but over the next 2 or 3 years, it feels like a return trip and maybe a second title is very much in play for OKC.
I think so, too. Bob, I don't think you saw this part of the prep sheet, but and Bodie didn't. He disrespected me because the headline was Holmgren gets Chet Stented.
I did see that, and honestly, it kind of
it's like
it didn't land with me as much.
But the thing that they're going to need is for oil to stay above $75
Yes.
for Oklahoma City to keep it together, because their owners will spend the money.
Yes.
They are Oklahoma City people. They brought a title to the city. It's the first one that they've ever had. They were so close for so long with the Westbrook, Durant, Harden combo. Couldn't get it done. They retool it all, and like 10 years later, they're able to finally put that product back out there. And now they have, I think it's kind of inarguable at this point. I mean, the best team with a bunch of young talent.
They have the best team with the best future. It's one of the greatest rebuilds probably in sports history. Of course. At least in the modern era.
They hit on all their guys. They develop players, and now they're great. So kudos to them, and they got a great team. Now see if you can keep it.
It feels like it's tough to do this in the NBA now when you got to pay so many, like the money they got to pay. And I know there's caps, aprons, whatever. But the fact, though, that if they can keep these guys together, they did a great job with the drafting. What's that?
You said caps, aprons, masks.
Yes, all of those things. There's might be a ball involved somewhere as well. I wasn't going to see, Bob. I didn't say gag on purpose because I tried to keep it family friendly, but maybe it's amazing what they've done and what they've made all the right choices in trades.
No, they made all the right moves.
Moves. Tom Cruise. Did you? I bet that movie hit with you, didn't it?
I didn't see it till I was in college.
But I bet it's.
Oh, it's great. And pipe, 6'2" stack monster.
That's what.
Of course.
I expect more out of a returning returning varsity letterman. But I got to believe, someone like you, small town football player. And I'm not saying you had these same experiences, but I'm just saying, like, I got to believe.
I didn't. It wasn't either the mill
I get
or the
that.
mine.
No, hey, look, your dad was the NFL. It was a little different for you. But I'm saying,
like
though, but linebacker, I got to believe that story, that movie, was probably one you watched more than once.
I watched it a lot.
I
love. Is that Elizabeth Shue in there?
I don't think it's Elizabeth Shue. Was it Elizabeth Shue? I don't think it was.
No, who's in there? You're making me look this up. But you shoot us the next one.
All right, guys. Next up here, college football. The college football season officially kicking off in Dublin, Ireland, has become somewhat of a regular occurrence. This year will be the 7th time that it has happened since 2012. Back in 2012, it all got started when your Notre Dame Fighting Irish beat Navy 50-10 to begin that campaign.
Who are you speaking to when you say your?
Just America. America's independence team.
Yes.
Next month, it'll be Farmageddon. We learned that yesterday or 2 days ago. As Iowa State will face Kansas State at noon on August 23rd to kick off the 2025 season. And now for the exciting news. None other than the Pop-tarts Bowl mascots will be joining them. Over the last 2 seasons, Iowa State and the Kansas State Wildcats have each won each of the last 2 Pop-tarts Bowls. So the delicious breakfast pastry cannot pass up on the opportunity to go international. Forget the game, Bobby. Do you have a favorite Pop-Tarts flavor?
If it's going to be in Ireland, the potato flavor. I mean, we need some, like, the potato beating up the corn. I mean, because Farmageddon, let's be honest, those 2 teams, we're farming a lot of corn and a lot of beef over there. But now we're going to Ireland where it's the land of the potato.
Right.
All right. So we got to figure out a way to have hash browns versus Pop-Tarts. I mean, there's a lot of different things that we can get going in there. By the way, not Elizabeth Shue, Leah Thompson.
Right.
Great job.
Hey, you know what? I understand why you might confuse the two of them.
They're about the same person to
me.
me.
They really are. They're the same ones. A lot of the same roles probably they're up for. I bet they saw each other in a lot of auditions.
Absolutely. So, yes. But if you make it something that's kind of consistent like this and you give them that week 0, which hopefully week 0 moves to a new week 0 and 0 becomes 1 and college football gets rolling a little sooner. But it's an exciting prospect. I like it. It'll be a game that I'll watch and listen. The Big 12, if I had a 16-sided die that I could roll, that's how I determine the champion.
I think these are 2 of the higher quality teams expected to be in the Big 12.
Also,
now last year,
so is Oklahoma State.
That too, and also last year we saw Georgia Tech upset Florida State in that game, and Florida State turned out to be a pretty bad football team.
I saw Oklahoma State beat Arkansas, and then
not win a conference game, right?
Yes.
It's amazing to me. Yeah, last year we thought, Florida State's going to roll Georgia Tech. Did I lose money on that game? Maybe. Did I think Florida State also, did I have them in a parlay for conference champions? Maybe.
Oof.
Didn't
go
well.
2 wins.
Yeah, but the good news was you knew that parlay had lost by about week 4.
Well, I did.
It wasn't like they took you to the very end.
And they were over.
You weren't spending that money that you didn't have.
Bobby, this was my mistake, was that I I listened. I should say, I'm not trying to besmirch them, but like I remember On the Money on Sunday it was a bids in Scotty Vegas. We're talking about these different options that you could do, and I was like, this sounds like a really good idea. And so I went through. I probably placed 25 different small bets, but 25 different combos though on these 4 teams winning their conferences. Ohio State was a lot of. I had Oregon in one of them too, which obviously that part worked out. But in all of them, the one that I missed was the Big 12.
Of course,
I had
Arizona
Utah.
State finished last.
I had Utah.
Was picked to finish last.
I had Kansas State. I had Iowa State. On none of my bingo cards did I have Arizona State.
Of course not.
The whole Pop-Tart thing, people make a big deal, this whole edible mascot stuff or whatever. I don't get it.
I haven't had a Pop-Tart in years.
Neither have I, but they are great.
Some sort of berry flavor would probably be my favorite.
I don't do the berry. I do. It's Bobby.
Do you toast them or do you eat them raw?
Oh, you got to toast them.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. There's some savages out there that just eat them raw.
Well,
I will tell you this. Oh, God, I apologize to Bodie about something.
I'll be honest, though. The Pillsbury Toaster Strudel, I believe, is superior to the Pop-Tart.
No, it's not.
Those are pretty great
You put the fresh cream cheese frosting on it.
There's not enough
it's more
frosting.
like a dessert as a breakfast.
No, but I'm saying, like, if they give you 8 of the or 6 of the strudels, you need to have 12 of the frostings. That's the problem. There's not enough frosting.
That is true. That's a fair
point.
But the frosting is far superior to the Pop-Tart frosting.
Look, Bob, if I get a pack of 6 of those strudels, I get through 3 of them out of frosting. And so that's what I'm saying.
So buy the cream cheese deal and just slather it on there, Thitoff.
Now, Pop-Tarts, by the way, you've got to toast them, and they've got to be a little bit brown. Like the brown sugar cinnamon one, you want to have a little bit burned. And I'll tell you something else. Here's fat guy tip. And I'm not getting all man and bony on this one. But a little bit of ice cream on top. Really good.
For breakfast? I think that might explain a lot of your life decisions.
I will also say this.
If you've ever entertained as an adult eating ice cream for breakfast.
Explain adult.
I mean,
legal voting 18?
Legal voting
okay,
age.
Yes, I have. But I'm saying, am I like Breer said, am I still an adult? I don't know because I'm considering vanity plates right now. I had 2 people who I've known for a good chunk of my life reach out to me yesterday after the show. And they've seen Bodie. And they said I was much fatter at 28 than I remember.
That's a great line. When you told me, I mean, I would like to see confirmation.
Listen,
you banging out 5 miles in 30 minutes.
That happened. I'm just telling you, though.
I don't know.
At 28,
you didn't even take the final test to become an Army
I was
official.
almost dead, Bob. I was almost dead, but it was a great Super Bowl. And I'm just telling you, Bodie, apologies to you. I was not as in shape as you are at 28.
Honestly, it was you. What you said yesterday motivated me, Tito. Especially when you said you go to the gym. That hurt. I'm not going to lie to you, but that's okay. I'm somebody who's motivated by,
I didn't. And somebody asked me in the chat. No, I didn't wear the vest yesterday. I should have gone out and walked. I didn't do it. I should have done it. I did not do it. There's always. You know what? Today's a new day. Good call. What do you got next for us, Bud?
You want to hit one more?
I don't know. What do you want?
We can do whatever.
We're not.
Let's get one more.
All right, let's do one more. A men's record 14th time reaching the semifinals at Wimbledon, breaking a tie with Roger Federer. A 52nd major semifinal appearance, tying Chris Evert for the most by any man or woman in the Open era. And at age 38, he is the second oldest man to get to the semifinals at the All England Club. All of that is what Novak Djokovic accomplished yesterday when he defeated Flavio Cobolli in 4 sets to advance to the Final Four. And now on Friday, the Joker is set to face world number 1, Jannik Sinner, as he continues his pursuit of
he beat
25th Grand Slam title. No, I don't know. Sinner beat Shelton, I think it was.
Alcaraz get beaten?
Alcaraz is in the other semifinal.
Okay.
Other side,
We're going into the semifinal.
Oh, okay, good. I was going to say it. I was like, I thought he was still in there.
And Djokovic, he is 2-0 against Sinner at Wimbledon all time, but Sinner has won the 4 previous matchups between the two. So, Tito, something's got to give Friday.
It does, and this will be the thing that gets me to watch Wimbledon. Something like this.
There you go. The stars at the top. If you could give me a Joker Alcaraz final, I'm all in, Coach.
You're all in on that one.
Yeah, because my wife went down and watched them after they had that epic match at Wimbledon.
Uh-huh.
And then they played at the Greater Cincinnati.
Yeah, that thing down there. Yeah, down in Mason. Yes.
And there was Like, it was wild. It was in overtime, like extra. It was unbelievable. My wife had they had bought the seats while they were playing. I forget who one of them had to win, and they were down. Maybe Alcaraz was down in the semis.
Right.
And they went out on a limb and just bought them. Like, Saturday night, we're having drinks. It's like 10:30, watching this. I think he's coming back in the third. So they bought them, and then the seats like tripled in price once they got it. So they had great seats, and it was unbelievable. And watching like the old bull, try to take on the young calf, to pull a full Step Brothers reference out of there for you. Like, it's literally how long can Joker hold on?
Right.
And he can still compete with Alcaraz, who is a phenomenal athlete, hits the ball 1,000,000 miles an hour. And so I'm hoping that Joker takes down Sinner because I want to see this in the final.
Yeah, and Bob, this is what gets me to watch tennis. If something like this happens, yes, then I will watch tennis. I will watch this. But by the way, that's a hidden gem. The Mason thing, going down there for that.
Unbelievable.
They get some great talent down there.
Everybody plays in it.
Yes, and it's you can go down there at a reasonable price. It's not crazy if you just want to get into the building,
Yes, and they end up getting really good seats. Like, I think they were second deck, right on the line, like right on the
baseline or the center court,
right on the net.
The net, yeah.
And it was great. And the tickets went from like $100 to like $450 or something. They were fairly reasonable to get seats that good.
Sure.
And then as soon as Alcaraz won, rocket ship.
So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. By the way, coming up next, a legend in another market may have burned a bridge. Morning Juice.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I know what it's like to be stuck in that cycle of pain where you're trying to get better. You keep going to the doctor, steroid shots, surgeries. Do not go down that road anymore. Go see my friends at QC Kinetics. They will help treat you without going under the knife and without the meds. QC Kinetics are the leaders in regenerative medicine to help your body heal itself. And I should know, I've been a client there, and they helped me with my knee get back to the running in the summer and going whitewater rafting and all of the things that you enjoy. And this is the critical part about my friends with QC. 92% of patients report satisfaction with their results. That's peace of mind. It's not just a number. They're trying to help you. They're the second opinion that you're looking for to keep you from getting under the knife. To find out if you're a good candidate, go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. The consultation is free, or call 380-284544. That's 380-284544. They have offices all over Central Ohio. So go check them out.
We are the keepers of the wild. America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
My name is DeMar Hamlin. I play for the Buffalo Bills, and I play safety. CPR saved my life. I've teamed up with the American Heart Association as a national ambassador to help create a nation of lifesavers, turning bystanders into lifesavers. Through CPR education and access to AEDs, nearly 3 out of 4 cardiac arrests that don't happen in hospitals happen in homes. Join me to ensure everyone has the chance to live longer, healthier lives. Visit heart.org/nation.
Wrinkles, gray hair, and hearing loss are common signs of getting older. But being short of breath, having tightness in your chest, coughing, and wheezing are not. If you are experiencing these symptoms, you may be one of the millions of people who are living with a condition called COPD but don't know it. Early diagnosis and treatment can add years of better breathing to your life. For more information, talk to your doctor and visit copdfoundation.org today.
If you're looking for the inside scoop on the Buckeyes, you've come to the right place. This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. Tito. Carpenter. Bodie. Seth says, I've never had a warm Pop-Tart in my life and do not want one. It's a man thing.
So I know a lot of people that just strip them out of that.
That's what
metallic
Michael
bag.
said, raw dog and Pop-Tarts.
Raw dog and Pop-Tarts.
I don't know if I ever called it that. But I don't know, Bob. It's got to be toasted. And it's got to be crispy. I don't do the fruit
crispy
ones
on
either.
the outside. Oh, you like the chocolate and the marshmallow. You're like a child, dude.
No,
the fruit at least makes me feel, even though there's nothing fruit about it on the inside, the synthetic taste of fruit with all of those artificial colors and dyes makes me feel like I'm actually eating fruit.
If you do one without frosting, you are a shark. You're a communist. Frosted brown sugar cinnamon, and then the cookies and cream.
Brown sugar, who, the Rolling Stones?
Yeah. God, that's a great call. And also, it's how I
Do you
like.
listen to Brown Sugar as you eat your Pop-Tart and stare at Heather?
Look, I'm telling you, cinnamon's my favorite stripper name.
It's perfect.
Not frosted brown sugar cinnamon. But if her name's brown sugar cinnamon, I like that. Frosted, not so much.
Kind of like Dustin Neil Diamond.
Yes.
Before and after.
The Dustin Diamond thing. The fact his middle name is Neil, I just learned that, is outstanding, Bobby.
The fact that when you do something like that, it's always amazing. Because there's a couple people that I know that have done stuff like that. Oh gosh, was it? There's someone else.
Bobby, I come across all the names of the BMV. When I'm looking through, when stuff comes across to me, the names I get are amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
And I always look, when someone's middle name is Elvis, I see when they were born. Usually it's like,
oh, yeah.
It's never somebody born before Elvis was famous.
I always love the fact that, like, if you have the last name of Jordan or Jackson and you throw, like, the Michael on it.
Oh, yeah.
After, like, it's one thing if you're born, in the, like, 70s, 80s.
Right.
But, like, by 1993, like, dude, if you're naming your kid Michael Jordan, you're naming him after whatever.
Hey.
Like, Michael Jordan that played at Ohio State, the offensive guard, if you remember.
Yeah.
And I asked him, like, because I would call him the greatest. I'd walk by as, like, the greatest. And then I asked him one time,
Chosen
I'm like,
one.
Does your dad, he's like, he's actually, and he goes, my dad's name was Mike as well. And I'm like, all right, so
he's a junior.
You're a junior. I go, have we ever thought about going by, like, throwing the junior on the end of that, like Michael B. Jordan, like throwing the throwing the middle initial in there just as a differentiator, Mike Jordan Jr., something like that. I don't know.
Bob, the names that come across, we'll get people that have like very regal names, and like that's a lot of pressure to put on your kid. If you give them a name like King, or something like that, or Jesus.
I love it.
Give them that one, like something like that.
Jesus Shuttlesworth?
Yes, something like that, Bob. You're putting a lot of pressure, or if you put Precious on a name. Now, Precious is also another stripper name, but if you call somebody Precious,
there's a lot of.
By the way, if you name your daughter after a spice, it's pretty much assumed she'll be a stripper, right?
I can only imagine all the names you see at the BMV that come across.
Bob, I wish I could legally share them all with you because I would be bombarding your text messages with, by the way, check out this name. This girl's name is Pepper. I've got Paprika here. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, but if you're named after Spice, right, you're gonna strip.
I was having this I'm not even gonna get into it. Like the stuff that you see, the guys, we would have these conversations in the NFL, and Gerald Sensible and I, who played safety with me in Dallas, would have long ones about this, and just different names and the things that you see over the course of your life, and the fact that you see the majority
every day.
I mean, the majority of people in Ohio have their driver's license if they're over 16, and the stuff that you see coming through there is pretty remarkable.
Bob, it is it brings me joy when I see some of these names.
I call him the outlaw Bodie Wells.
Right. That's another great one too, by the way. I had a friend of mine who named his. He told me from the time we were in high school, he said he was going to do this, and he named his son Justin. Middle name, Case.
I love it.
Justin Case.
I was trying to get AJ to name any of his kids, any of his boys, Michael. He had 3 shots on it, and he wouldn't give him a mic.
Mike Hawk. That would be great. That would be fantastic.
And he would not do it.
See, that's kind of, and I told you I
said, at least give me an Anthony. Could we have a Tony Hawk in there?
Bob, and people don't believe this. Guy lived down the street from me, went to middle school and high school with him. His last name was Hunt.
There you go.
His first name was Michael.
That's amazing. He could have had a Michael Jr.
He did not go by Michael. He did go by Mike.
Yes.
R.I.P. him too, by the way.
Tito. bringing the mood down there at the end.
No, I'm just telling you. Or I'll say RIP, but still, it's a great name. Bobby, burning bridges. I'm good at this, but I'm not Scott Frost good. Scott Frost.
This is amazing.
Came out and talked about, because now he's back at UCF.
Yes, where he always wish he never left.
Wish he never left it right now, yes, which is what everyone's saying now. Kirk Cousins is strong in him. He now says at the Big 12 Media Days, he said Nebraska was the wrong job for him. And he basically said, look, the advice, he said, I didn't want to leave UCF. I always said I would never leave unless it was someplace you could go and potentially win a national championship. And I got tugged in a direction, make your joke, Bob, to go try to help my alma mater.
Well, he could have said he got jerked in a different direction.
I got you. I didn't really want to do it. It was a good move, and I'm lucky I have the opportunity to come back to a place where I was a lot happier. And then when he said he didn't say specifically when talking about Nebraska. He said that. I don't want to talk Nebraska, but he did say don't take the wrong job. That's what I learned. Make sure you're working for and around good people.
Well, here's the thing. Going home, there's an immense pressure on you to succeed.
Right.
And so I understand the allure. 'Cause I tell you, you can't compete. You can't compete with going home. That's just the reality of it. When you're offered a chance, an opportunity to go back to some place that you had a lot of success, it's really hard to say no. And everybody viewed Scott Frost. I mean, they put him on a donkey and threw the palm leaves down when he was walking in,
right,
back to Lincoln.
Sure.
He was the guy that was supposed to return them to the glory days, the glory hole days, as Jerry Jones put it. He was the one that was going to get him there. And it was going to be the native son that got it done. And unfortunately, it just didn't work out. And he was the guy that had all the success. When he was leaving UCF, I mean, he could have basically, any job that was coming open.
Right.
He would have been on the short list.
Yes.
The 1 or 2 people, 3 at most. Take it. He took UCF to that undefeated season. And so is him catching lightning in the bottle, or is he a great coach? Or is it just that it's going to be really hard to win in Nebraska?
Yeah.
There's only a couple things. I think it might be a combination of that. Maybe he's good, but not a miracle worker. Maybe Nebraska's ceiling now is getting to 9 wins, but maybe there wasn't alignment. And I know here's what's amazing. And I don't want to throw dirt on Scott Frost, but
we can. It's Scott Frost. Who the hell cares?
Well, I have some relationships with guys just working in the media and playing. You
Jack
meet
Frost.
Jack Frost. It's amazing his parents didn't name him Jack. Why not?
They call you Jack.
Yeah.
And jerk.
That's good. Anything. But speaking of jerk, a lot of his teammates, guys who I know who played with him there, did not care for him.
Okay.
They did not like him. And even as a quarterback, I don't think he was captain as quarterback.
That's hard to do.
Especially when you're on a
national championship winning team. You're right, yeah. That says
you're
something.
The quarterback, I always tell someone, sometimes read the quiet part out loud.
Yeah.
And that's the fact, he wasn't named captain. Really? He's a quarterback?
Yeah, the quarterback.
The quarterback in that championship team, multi-year starter, and you're not getting voted captain? What's going on with that? I'm not going to focus on, and so you just kind of let that drift away, but I think that speaks to maybe some of his issues. And I don't know if when he got to Nebraska, he got that big deal there, if maybe he was grinding as much after his second or third year as people would have liked him to.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it had set in this job's going to be really hard. And I don't know if I can ever live up to those expectations, because the expectation was to win a national championship.
It was Osborne.
And not that it is, it was to become Tom Osborne.
Yes.
That's essentially what the expectation was.
To save the program, bring it back.
With Ron Paulus, Bodie, for him to go back and to win that national championship that just was so elusive for him as a player, But there's and joking with that. But if I'm trying to think.
Well, I think the fact that it wasn't like he got to Bo Pelini's level. He didn't make a bowl game. They never went to a bowl game.
They could never get above 500.
They couldn't get to 500.
Yeah, who did he take over for?
Was it
Riley?
It was it Riley or was it?
Well, Riley was after.
There was somebody. I thought somebody was after Riley. Maybe I'm wrong on that one, Bob. I will look it up while
was
you.
Was it Pelini, Riley,
pontificate.
then him? It was a no-win situation for him.
Yeah, it was Mike Riley.
Yeah, because I was going to say.
Even Mike Riley won 9 games in his second out of 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, he had some. Bo was recruiting well, and Bo was a little abrasive.
Riley was 19-19. Frost went 18-31.
Oh gosh, I mean,
I think in
31,
the article it said that was their worst. What was that?
Oh, their worst 4 year, 5.
Yeah, 4 to 5 year stretch in, I don't know, 50, 60 years or something.
Of course.
So based on what he said, Bob, we assume we can infer from this that he regrets leaving UCF to go to Nebraska.
I think
the money was great.
I think he's playing results on this.
Okay.
I think he probably thought it was going to be a more successful venture.
All right. Now I'm going to ask you this. Tough question here. And I think he's a damn good coach, okay? And I think he will continue to have success whatever his career holds for him. Do you think Fickell will regret taking Wisconsin's job?
No, I talked to Luke about this, and there was going to be some issues at Cincinnati, and they were moving into the Big 12.
Right.
And I think at the beginning, he was like, hey, there's jobs that I would take.
Yeah.
And they looked at those jobs. And, I mean, he, I think, would have been offered the Notre Dame job had he pursued it. And the same thing with USC had he pursued it. But I think there was timing issues with one, maybe a little bit of both. And part of where you're living and raising your family matters as well, and that your family's going to be happy and feel good about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of looking at places that you would go, you try to find characteristics that you're looking for.
Right.
And say, does this place have those characteristics? How many of them does it have? And are the ones that it doesn't, will those offset or outweigh the positive things that they do possess? And so when you make those decisions like that, Fick's never been a guy that has been someone I think that looks back in a regretful person.
Okay.
I mean, not to saying that he's not reflective, because I think you can be, but with the best information I had at the time, I went to do this. A lot of things changed around college football after him making that. He thought he could maybe do A. Now he can try to pivot and do B. He still has a lot of time left on his contract. It'll be tough to fire. And I don't think that the book is finished on him with what he's doing. He has a very tough schedule this year. He needs to find a way to win 7, possibly 8, which will be hard, but I think he can do it. And then you begin to build off of that and hopefully get some momentum going.
Yeah, Bob, I look at it and I wonder, alternate universe, if he was the DC and not Matt Patricia at Ohio State. You know what I mean? I look at that.
You mean, him never going to Cincinnati?
No, him going to Cincinnati, but then maybe, but I wonder.
Taking the Bearcats to a national.
I know. No, I'm just saying. I wonder that
coming back to reprise his
role
as DC.
But if you gave me that, I wonder, because I think about that sometimes. But I think about
would he have just been happier staying here? Probably not under Urban. Maybe under Ryan.
Maybe under Ryan he would have been, and then he could have been the coach in waiting. Maybe
coach in waiting. Ryan's younger than he is.
Is Ryan younger? I thought they were the same age.
No.
Ryan's younger?
Looks like 51. Ryan's like 46, 47.
Never mind then. No, but
He's old. He's younger than you are.
Okay, let's. We don't need to compare people.
I think with Fickell, probably the biggest thing. And look, they were getting ready to play Alabama in the semifinal.
Right, yeah.
But
Notre Dame?
Does he ever truly look back and say,
that's what I wonder too.
I don't think he does, and I'll tell you why, Bodie. And not that Notre Dame isn't a great job; it has nothing to do with the program. Fick is a man of literally, and I used to go back and forth with him in college. But I will say this about him, and I love Luke to death. He is a man of high integrity, and so when he tells you something, that this is how he's going to operate. When he told his team, "I'm not interviewing for other jobs,"
which I respect the heck out of.
Yeah, even if it means turning down a job that you may love, or just saying pause. I'm doing this.
Yeah.
You know what? You never regret sticking to your word in that. He doesn't.
Yeah. And I know the Alabama game didn't go very well, but
they didn't.
I don't know.
Terrible.
And I think hindsight, that Cincinnati team, they would have had to beat Bama and Georgia back to back. That would have been very tough to do.
Yes.
But I don't know. You play that game 10 ties. Maybe Alabama wins 9.
Not today.
They had a shot. They had more of a shot.
Yeah.
That was not Saban's best team. And that Cincinnati team was really good.
And
they had NFL players all over the roster.
And they should have beaten Georgia the year before.
Yes, in the bowl game.
In the Sugar Bowl or whatever.
Peach Bowl. Yeah.
I think it was the Peach Bowl. But
they should have beaten Georgia. I mean, I think Fick regrets some of the decisions he maybe made. So
and who knows, too? Like, I'm not necessarily determined that Swarbrick wasn't going to just hire Freeman, regardless.
Really?
So, and maybe that's a moot point. But that would have been the one that, if it wasn't going to be Ohio State, and I would guess that was probably without knowing Luke, it's probably second, third, fourth on the list. And maybe that's one. But like you said, Bob, I totally respect the fact that he said, you know what? I took a group of 5 school at the time. Yeah. Obviously, they're in the Power 4 now. But a group of 5 school and did something that I think most people probably didn't think would ever happen. Or maybe not never, but close to getting a group of 5 school there into the Final Four of the playoff at the time. And they were a really good team. And they came up short against Alabama. But I don't blame them for saying, like, you know what? We're going to go for this. And if it costs me in the long run, at least I did the right thing for my coaches and players here at UC. Brian Kelly kind of did that too, didn't he?
Yeah, just like
Same thing.
Just like that.
His players at UC really loved him when he left there to go to Notre Dame.
By the way, leaving when they still had a chance to make the playoff.
The BCS championship game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Patrick in the chat, the end of that segment was for you and Bodie, because you guys are the Notre Dame guys. Patrick's in the chat, always talking up Notre Dame, and Bodie's interacting with him, and that's what we do. I will tell you this, Bobby. As much as John Tressel owes me an apology, so does Luke Fickell.
Well, I'm sure he does. And
you read. I'm going to tell you this first, though. He shoulder brushed me in an aggressive way.
Who is this?
Luke Fickell.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, I'm telling you.
He's one dude you do not want to mess with.
I'm just telling you, we're walking by each other on the DeSales track for DeSales Brookhaven game. I'm out of school. He shoulder brushed me in a way that I think he should still apologize. But go ahead and do your read.
What's your deal, bro?
Exactly. You don't want to mess with him.
He didn't want to mess with me. I was Tito. Go ahead.
You do want to mess with Riverside Bank, though, because you need a bank that values local businesses in this town, the opportunity to work alongside them as partners. Whether you're a small business or a large operation, Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for the job. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working here locally in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area, and they're going to help you reach your goals. Whether you need an SBA loan to get your business off the ground, a line of credit to keep your business running smoothly, or maybe just some equipment financing to get your business up to scale, Riverside Bank will tailor a solution that fits your needs. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in and check them out and get to know them in person at 6300 France Road, Riverside Bank of Dublin, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
If John Tressel and Lyle Fickell want to apologize to me, I'm right here. You know where to find me every morning, 6 to 8. And you're friends with Bobby. You got his number. He'll call you. It doesn't matter how early he is. Thanks for tuning in today. And we have next coming up, we will tell you what's got us juiced. Morning Juice.
Imagine home. The smell of coffee, the sound of a lawnmower, the sun's warmth on your face. Free to be yourself, surrounded by love that helps you grow. This is a place to call home. That's an American dream we all deserve. But in 50% of U.S. states, you could legally be denied housing if you are LGBTQ+. Get the facts and hear real stories at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. We've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
It's been a real journey since 2014 when I first had my injury. I realized that my home was just not working for me and that it was time to ask for help. Homes for Our Troops is really giving me my life back. The shower allows me to go in and turn around with my chair, pull down storage racks, automated door systems, hours of my morning given back to me. Adaptive sports are a huge part of my life, a huge part of my healing journey as well. Homes for Our Troops helped with making sure that I had a home gym so that I can continue to train. This past year, I was able to host Thanksgiving in my home. And it was the first time I was able to have my whole family in one place, and I was able to contribute to the meal. There are a lot more veterans in need, and Homes for Our Troops is going to be there to help them too.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives. Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Bobby's knees hurt from doing battle with some of football's toughest warriors. Tito's knees hurt from begging Bobby to let him host this show.
Oh, pick me!
That's
oh,
unfair.
I know, me!
This is Morning Juice.
I never begged Bobby. Is that fair? Can you say that
I don't
publicly?
know what that even means.
I never begged to host the show with you. Is that fair?
Yeah, I would say that's accurate.
Did I ask?
Sure.
Maybe I did.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Go ahead.
It is Thursday, so it goes to Bodie first, and Schleg's even before him.
I could play for Torts, right? To me, their mantra should be this: wear a big cup and carry a big stick, because that's what they do. Like, I could play hockey for him.
Can't skate though, so that's a problem.
That's all right.
Or swim.
Just go out there swinging.
Torts? Why does he have to say like he's from like Torts?
Torts.
All right, guys, I will start here if I can get my computer uploaded. There we go. First off, saw this last night. Wasn't watching Jeopardy. I don't think I've ever really watched Jeopardy. Nothing against it. Just never got around to it. But nevertheless, I saw this on Twitter from Jeopardy's show last night. Apparently, they had a sports category. And let's just say the contestants aren't super locked into sports. We'll start with this one. I could see where this one, if you don't follow women's basketball as closely, you can maybe miss it. But the second one's the funny one. We'll start with the women's college basketball / WNBA one first, though.
Sporty Stuff 800.
This UConn star had an intense spring in 2025, playing on her first national championship team and being picked first in the WNBA draft. Rahul.
Who is Caitlin Clark?
No. Scott or Sarah? That's Paige Beckers.
Now, for us who are sports fans, even though...
The fact that
even
you
if
knew
you don't,
Caitlin Clark, that's not terrible.
Yes, I could see where it's like you
terrible.
could... I'll give you that one.
Like,
if you don't
wasn't-
follow sports super closely, and you're like, you know what, women's basketball, I know who Caitlin Clark is. He was off on that one, but not terrible. This one, though, I feel like was maybe a little bit more egregious.
600. Number of points a team gets for a safety in the NFL. Scott.
What is 3?
Sorry, no. Rahul.
What is 1?
Also incorrect. Sarah.
What is 2?
Right in the middle. It's 2 points for a safety.
There you go, Sarah. She's bringing up the rear. She's like, it's not 1, it's not 3. Let me just go for 2. And the first guy who was guessing, you could see it on his face. Yeah. He did not know that answer, but he was going to go for it, man. And you know what? I respect that.
Bob, you obviously, you got a pick 6 in the NFL, right? Did you have pick 6? Yeah, pick 6. Right, okay.
Nice.
Ever a safety in NFL or college? In high school, I'm sure you did, but
no, I'm sure. You know how hard it is to get safeties?
Oh, Bob,
it's easier to get a scoop. You have to get someone back. I scored in high school on like a fumble that fell into the end, like fumble that went back into the end zone.
You never. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I know safeties are tough, but in high school.
What do you mean, but in high school?
You were Bobby F. Carpenter.
Okay, it's a. I'm not even getting into the semantics of this. Like, you can't pick up someone and run them back in the end zone.
I understand, but you're playing like Marion Harding or something in one non-conference game. Yeah. You didn't get a safety.
They have to be on to get a safety. Someone has to be on the 1
back
yard
in the 5-yard line. They snap it.
They have to be on the 1.
They snap it at the 5. Quarterback drops
he
back.
Wasn't at the 1, was he?
Right. I'm just saying,
Bob.
They're
at the yeah.
Okay, but I got to believe you tackled somebody for a safety in high school.
No, I don't think that's true.
That's disappointing.
It's fine. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
You're not disappointing me. You're disappointing America. But you're not. It's okay. I thought you. Well, ask your dad. I bet you had a safe. I bet you tackled someone for a safety in high school.
I'm positive we didn't.
I know you did NFL at college. No.
It's first of all to get somebody backed up like that. I'm not even going to get into it. Like that's
all right.
That's tough.
Go ahead. Bodie, I'm sorry.
Are you
got one more for you. Got one more real
quick.
quick one. This is very important too, so we cannot skip over this.
Yes.
Saw this on Twitter last night as well. I have no idea if it's true, but I'm going to believe it's true. Reportedly in the works at Disney, National Treasure 3. Now, in my opinion,
heard that for
the first two are some of the most entertaining, even though they are completely unrealistic.
They're good?
Movies.
Those two are good?
They're in the back of the van cleaning.
The Declaration of Independence. But you know what? Those movies are so awesome. Supposedly, if this tweet is correct, Chris Bremner will write the script. He wrote Bad Boys, Ride or Die. I haven't seen that movie, but I did see the first two. I don't know if he was involved in those or not. And they were pretty great. Pretty different categories, I'd say. They're Bad Boys 1 and 2 versus National Treasure.
Also realistic.
Very extremely realistic.
Based on true stories.
Humvee down the side into Gitmo.
But you know what? Those movies are great. So I'm in on that. And I hope, as long as Nicolas Cage is back, I don't care about the rest of the characters.
He better
as long
be
as
back.
Nick Cage is back.
No, you have to have John Voight's
movie.
dad in that, isn't he?
I don't even know who that is.
I think John Voight's his dad. He's got to reprise his role. I'm with you too, Bodie, and I wanted the series on Disney Plus to be good. It was
yes, you are right. Okay, now that I see his face, I know the name.
It was very disappointing that it was just average. But when I took my oldest son, to the Army Navy game, went to Independence Hall. I'm like, that's where they use the glasses up there. And then I was telling my third son about it, and his buddies. I'm like, remember National Treasure? That's where the glasses were buried in the wall for 200 plus years.
Are awesome.
Oh, it was tremendous. It was absolutely tremendous. I'm glad that's got you juice, Bodie. Is there anything? Wait. Okay, so that's your last one.
That's all I got for you.
Okay, I didn't know if you were going to pull any other nuggets out of there. We got phone calls coming through.
Did we give something away? 821-1460.
Phone calls and footlockers.
Yes.
But that's awesome.
Pick it up and hang it up. Just pick it up and hang it up.
Well, I don't know if it's for the other show.
It's not. Don't worry about the other show. We don't care about the other show, Bodie.
It's okay. Easy. We don't have to get so aggressive, Jeff.
It's our show.
Well, it's got me juiced. Gosh, it was fun. I don't even remember what was going on. Oh, yesterday I told him. Took my son driving for the first time yesterday. It was good. It was entertaining. I had to have a drink when we got back home. But we're working through it. He did a pretty good job. I told him confidence is most of it. And it is.
Driving?
Yeah, just be confident in what you're going to do. You cannot hesitate. You have to make your decision. You've got to go for
That's
it.
True.
Trust your gut.
Trust your gut.
Be more aware of what other people are doing.
100%. And I told him, he was like driving, he started looking at something else. I go, you do not look at the road the entire time. So it was good. He did a pretty good job though, and we're going to keep grinding on this. We're going to start logging hours a day. Got to get 50 hours. We got about 45 minutes in last night. It was a lot of fun. He did a good job. And what else has got me juiced? I stumbled upon this. We're going to save the Barkley because that's a little bit longer. But my former head coach, now current Lieutenant Governor Jim Tressel, is putting together an initiative. We're trying to make Ohio healthy again. We're going to get the gym class going with the kids. And we used to have, when I was growing up, it was called the Presidential Fitness Test. Did you guys do that, Bodie?
I'm pretty sure we did.
They stopped it a number of years ago. When my mom was still teaching, so it was at least, I think 5 or 6 is when they stopped it. And what they did was in 1980, they did like push-up or pull-ups, mile run. There's like a shuttle run, sit-ups, sit and reach. I think those were like the 5 categories. And they did it all. And so the top 10%, if you got those scores, you got the Presidential Award. Top 30% was the National Award. And it was always such a big deal to try to get. And then they stopped doing it because competition's bad now. And you can't tell kids that, like, hey, we want to affirm everybody of all
participation
things that
trophies,
you do.
Bob. You get the medal.
We're going to affirm you, like, hey, even though it takes you 12 minutes to run a mile and you're 11 years old, like, that's okay. Like, no, you should be able to run that thing in sub 10 when you're 12 years old. Like, that's the reality. We need to bring that back and bring those expectations back and bring it into the gym class and get everybody going and make sure that Coach Slags, I'm going to smash your face in a positive way. And we're going to do some competitions. You go watch gym class in the 60s, like, we're getting after it because we're training to fight the Russians. And Ivan Drago's on the other side of that wall. All right, they're on steroids.
He dies.
They're altered and they're ready to go. Chemically enhanced fighters is what and now you have to train to fight an enemy that doesn't need to eat or sleep, because when the robots come, you better be ready to go. All right?
Today,
and yeah,
we celebrate
our
Independence Day.
100%. That might be Jim Tressel when he runs for president in like so many years when we're fighting off the
Breaking
robots.
news, Bobby just said Tressel's running for president.
Yeah, right.
He's got to get a little older, doesn't
He
he?
would kill me if he
You said it,
for
Bob.
saying that. But anyway, they're doing him, and Ted Ginn's a big part of this. And then Lauren Miller, who played basketball at Ohio State, Ryan's wife. They're unbelievable folks. And this is their little PSA that dropped yesterday.
Hi, I'm Ohio Lieutenant Governor Jim Tressel. Join me and former Ohio State Buckeye greats Ted Ginn Jr. and Lauren Miller this school year as we launch a new fitness challenge for Ohio students in grades 4 through 8.
We're excited to work with schools across the state to help students set healthier goals and become the best version of themselves.
And we'll be showing kids the basics of healthy eating so they can fuel up with the right foods, just like athletes do.
Keep an eye out for more information on the challenge and how to enroll your school.
Let's get moving, eat right,
And work together and create a
healthier Ohio.
It's great. On the field of the shoe there, Bodie, tossing the pigskin around, the three of them.
Teddy looks like he could probably still.
And in 351 days, whatever it is, up in Ann Arbor.
There you go. I don't know if it's 300 and
I
something.
don't know what the number is now. I can't remember what it was when he got hired. I can't remember the speech. I feel bad. I should know the speech by heart.
289 or 311.
But he said 3 something.
Yeah, it was like maybe 312. He got it in February. It couldn't have been. Yeah.
Did he get hired in February?
310.
310, that's what it was.
Well, it's close. 310 days. So all that had me juiced. Thitoff, what's got you juiced?
It's my brother's birthday today. He is 51. My younger brother is 51 years old today. He's here in town. So happy birthday to him. The juicers have me juiced also on the chat. The fact that I now found out that Tressel's running for president at some point, Bob, that was fantastic. That kind of stuff we have to tease and get people involved and get them to listen then. Just dropping a little side nugget like that, though, Bob, I wouldn't do that. I would make a bigger deal out of it. And look, honest to God, Bob, I want you to do this for me before tomorrow. I don't normally
believe that's the case. I would say with a fairly high degree of certainty that I did not.
I mean, college and pro, we can assume you didn't because it's very difficult. But I'm just saying,
it's just as difficult in high school.
When you're going against Marion Franklin in a non-conference game,
Franklin.
What's the biggest blowout you had in high school? What's the team you guys beat the worst in high school?
We weren't that good for a couple of years.
Still, but you played.
Yeah, I get that, but Thitoff, you have to have somebody on the 1 yard line. That's in itself is a rarity.
Okay.
And then assuming they're not just going to run a sneak or something like straight ahead is also very difficult.
You're Bobby F. Carpenter.
Dude,
you're a linebacker for Lancaster.
Exactly, so you're off the ball.
Right.
I didn't blitz much in high school, so that also eliminated that ability.
Ask your dad for me. We'll bring him up tomorrow. Folks, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Tomorrow there's no AJ because he's out at Tahoe playing in this event.
Playing some golf.
He's out there playing golf. It starts today. Let's get an update tomorrow, though, on where he's at, how he does.
There we go.
We'll find that out. We'll do all of that tomorrow, folks. This is Morning Juice. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I.
And then we.
Brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together.
Established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
Your child is sick. With those 4 words, the innocence and joy of childhood disappears. But Starlight has taught us 4 other words that make all the difference. The power of play. Happy kids heal faster. That's why Starlight Children's Foundation delivers happiness through gaming, toy deliveries, and more to hospitals across the country. Learn more at starlight.org.
Your child's oral health milestones matter. By age 1, see a pediatric dentist to establish good oral health habits. At 7, see an orthodontist to check your child's bite, teeth, and jaws. Around 15, visit an oral and maxillofacial surgeon to have your child's wisdom teeth examined. Remember, milestones met, healthy teeth set. Visit milestonesmet.org.
Hi, I'm Kim Holderness.
And I'm Penn Holderness. You don't have to have an amazing race to the doctor, but you should make time for routine cancer screenings.
I schedule my mammogram and other cancer screenings around my birthday and then treat myself to lunch.
I do too, because, of course, everyone likes lunch.
The C word can be scary, but routine screenings can detect cancer before symptoms appear.
And early detection equals better outcomes.
Go to preventcancer.org to find out which cancer screenings you need.
At National Geographic Society, we believe in the power of wonder. It drives us to explore, pushes us to see the world differently, moves us to action. And we believe that today, wonder is more essential than ever.
Wow.
That's why we're supporting a new generation of explorers to ask big questions, make breakthroughs, and bring the future closer. Wonder awaits. Will you join us? Visit natgeo.org/wonder.